I've been waiting for a good guest star since The Last of Us Season 2 premiered. And while the residents of Jackson have been fun, Jeffrey Wright takes Episode 4, Scars, to the next level. It's been a while since we've seen Fedra, and even longer since The Last of Us brought us into the thick of the politics and violence of another emerging faction. As we learn who the WLFs are and their war with the cult known as the Scars, the show's familiar patterns emerge alongside solid action and emotional moments that keep us rooting for the characters. The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 3 was a recovery period for both the series and Ellie. While I wasn't as moved by the episode, the break in the tension was beneficial in the lead up to the mountains of information we received in the season's 4th installment. The opening title card, Seattle Day 1, doesn't bode well for Ellie and Dina's fast and safe return to Jackson, but there is little question that their journey is just getting started. I'm excited about the new lore teased in Episode 4, and the way the story's scope has widened. Some big revelations come to light in Scars, and it's clear that the plot was structured to keep things moving after the methodical pace of The Path. We get quality time with Dina and Ellie as they follow Abby's shadow. There's been no sign of Caitlin Dever since we saw Abby stick a knife in Joel's neck, making me wonder if she's hiding somewhere within the WLF at all. By the end of the episode, we know that Ellie and Dina have unwittingly walked into a war zone, and they'll have to fight for much more than their revenge. The Last of Us relies on Bella Ramsey and Isabella Merced's chemistry in Scars. While most of the action happened off-screen in The Path, The Last of Us picks back up with the action and gore in Episode 4. Wright's character, Isaac, a familiar face from the game, is already shaping up to be an amazing villain, though the episode successfully makes us question whether there is any right side in the conflict between the WLF and the Scars. A religious cult always ramps up the mystery and magic of any story, and the harsh dichotomy between the militarized WLF and the naturalistic Scars paves the way for an interesting war. As usual, The Last of Us punctuates the heart-pounding anxiety of battle with some sweet, quiet breaks in the excitement. The moment when Ellie picks up the guitar and sings for Dina, it's almost too vulnerable and raw to stand. However, Ramsey made the scene work, allowing Ellie to show a little insecurity and embarrassment while also taking herself seriously and letting Dina in. Episode 4 relies heavily on the chemistry between Ramsey and Merced. For the most part, I believe the intense ups and downs their relationship had to weather throughout the episode. All of their unspoken feelings come to a head when Ellie is forced to let Dina in on her secret, saving her from an infected by getting bitten. This scene was well done, but the aftermath confused me. I understand it's a stressful time, and she almost just lost Ellie, but I'm shocked that Dina had no follow-up questions after the reveal that Ellie's immune. We'll come to see that one truth typically leads to another. Dina will doubtlessly find out about Joel's massacre of the hospital, even if it doesn't happen until they finally corner Abby. If Ellie is the other side of Joel's coin, she won't hesitate to go to extreme measures to protect Dina and the possibility of a family. The Last of Us continues to prove that within the survival genre, the series is the pinnacle of LGBTQ+ representation. The natural progression of Ellie and Dina's relationship isn't forced and never feels like fan service. Merced gives a sweet monologue about the nuance of Dina's sexuality, explaining to Ellie why their relationship happened as it did. However, Dina never apologizes for how she's navigated her feelings. This, coupled with Ellie's immediate acceptance of their emerging family dynamic, gives the love between Dina and Ellie a realism that lesser shows never achieve. However, Ellie knows things have changed now that Dina's pregnant. The stakes and cost of their mission have gone through the roof, and Ellie is poised to have even more to lose than she already did. If Ellie is the other side of Joel's coin, she won't hesitate to go to extreme measures to protect Dina and the possibility of a family. Additionally, we wonder how Dina will react to Ellie's secrets and what Ellie will sacrifice. However, I doubt that Dina will be willing to risk losing Ellie over the faraway possibility of a cure. Dina and Ellie are poised to face impossible odds in The Last of Us. By the end of Scars, the next mission for Dina and Ellie is clear. They're going to have to cross the war zone of Seattle for the chance that someone will know where Abby is. It's a reckless and costly mission, but the pair knew this from the moment they left Jackson. The two of them won't be able to make it through this by themselves, so I'm interested to see if unauthorized reinforcements from Jackson might appear at some point in the next episodes. Jesse would be an interesting addition to the emerging dynamic between Ellie and Dina. Though it's only been a few weeks of real time in The Last of Us, Joel is already fading slightly from the memory of the series, even if it's his ghost who's been driving Ellie's every action. As always, life keeps going after a loved one is gone. Ellie will soon have to decide whether getting revenge for someone who isn't coming back is worth risking the reality of the future. The Last of Us asks its characters to answer this question many times throughout the series, but I don't know yet what Ellie's decision will be. New episodes of The Last of Us Season 2 air weekly on Sundays at 9 p.m. EST on Max and HBO.